What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, everybody? So I just wanted to get on here real quick and discuss my opinion, since everybody's asking, about the whole Starbucks situation that happened in Philly. Two young black men came into Starbucks. From what I've read and from the video that I've seen, I did not think that this was going to blow up as big as it did and have the effect that it had, because I actually saw the video before any of the media got it, days before. It was a white woman who was expressing her disbelief at the fact that this discrimination does have, still goes on, and that, her white privilege affords her not to have to go through things like this. And it was like an eye-opening experience for her. And I seen it on Twitter. The lady was tweeting about it. She tweeted the video, and she was tweeting all the stuff that happened before and after it. And in this particular video that I saw, um, we see the cops coming in, and we see two black guys that probably were like 20 something, probably 30, young gentlemen. They get up, the cops arrest them, and we see a white guy stands up and say, why is it that they're getting arrested? What is going on? They did absolutely nothing. And you hear another white woman in the background, and I'm saying this for a reason, saying, what is the point of them getting arrested? Why? What? They did nothing. They've been sitting here. They were not doing anything. Okay. And I feel as though, you know, we should not be shocked. It's unfortunate that in this day and age, I have to say we shouldn't be shocked that this stuff is still going on, because it's been going on. You will hope to see some changes. Yes, we've seen some changes, but there are still areas where people need to change their ways and understand that you cannot discriminate against people. Okay. And people are so stuck in their ways that they're going to do whatever it is that they want to do. Now, I remember, if you would have asked me about the policies, I've never worked at Starbucks. When I was out with my mom, sometimes she'd go to Starbucks, and I will say this: they got some bomb ass cheese danishes, bitch. Fuck it up, okay? Especially when that bitch be warm. Delicioso, okay? But I never stepped inside of a Starbucks like that. But I used to work, they used to have a Starbucks that, just across the street from a job that I had at a certain location. And, we used to see people go in and they just sit there. I've seen people go in literally and go straight to a fucking table and take their laptop out and start doing some work or whatever. Not going to a counter, not standing in line, not doing anything. They just take their work out and they start doing it right then and there. And Starbucks is like that. It's almost like a fucking library to a sense, And it's a Dunkin' Donuts at my job, around my other location that I used to work at, job location, where it's literally a lounge area right there where you can just come in and do whatever. Okay, you ain't gotta buy nothing. You ain't gotta, ask for anything. You can just sit there and just wait for whoever you're waiting for, or just chill. And, I've always seen Starbucks as this type of place. We see it in movies, we see it in TV shows where people literally are just coming there and they're sitting down, and they're either they get a drink or whatever they come there for, some food or whatever, or they just sit there and they do their work on their little computers or whatever, or they waiting on to do some business meetings or something. I've never heard or seen somebody get turned away from service or whatever. So when I heard about this, I was like, mind you, I've done a business term paper about the whole organization of Starbucks. And I know their policies. I know their mission statement. I know how it got started. I know all of that stuff that every employee who works at Starbucks should fucking know. Okay? And I've researched it. I've researched it extensively. So it was, I was just like, why Starbucks of all places? Y'all gonna do some shit like this? Yeah, it can be a little bit more, probably be a little bit more diverse, but I've never heard of people really having a negative experience like this. And what got me is that I was talking to somebody earlier today who was basically trying to blame the guys. And it's like, oh, it's staged, or what were their intentions and stuff like that. I'm not buying it. I'm calling bullshit on the whole thing. And I just don't like people who, do stuff like that. Like, always trying to, it's like you're trying to promote that narrative of, there has to be a reason that, um, they had to have got unruly. They had to did this and had to done that, because that's what this person was saying. They had to get unruly and stuff. Why would you want to stay somewhere where you're not welcome? If they said that you can't do this, why you just didn't get up and leave and all this stuff? And this was a black woman. And I just don't understand stuff like that. And it's just like you're playing the blame game, okay? I don't care what you want to call it. To me, in my ears, what that sounds like is you're trying to place blame on these young black men. Young black men who everybody said, including the white people that were there, that they actually did nothing wrong. They sat there. One asked to go to the bathroom. Somebody had came in, used the bathroom, got the pen or whatever to go to the bathroom, and they didn't purchase anything. And so they asked to go to the bathroom, and they were not allowed to go to the bathroom, so they went and sat back down. They didn't cause a disruption. They didn't act out. Even when the cops came, it was no big deal. Like, meaning they didn't put on a fucking show. They didn't get belligerent and be like, man, fuck y'all, I ain't do shit up in here. I ain't got to do, they didn't do none of that. They did not play into none of those negative ass stereotypes that are out there about black people as it is, especially black men. Okay? So that part, when I was going back and forth with this person, that part, it irked me, knowing this, and I'm like, it's why does it have to be something that they did to intensify or to make the situation go to the point where they calling the cops? How come? And we should know in this day and age that one does not have to do anything when one is racist or bigots or prejudiced. They don't need nothing in between that to escalate to go to call the cops. Okay? They see what they want to see, and if they don't like it, they just call the fucking cops. And that's what it seemed like happened in this situation. Now if they were asked to leave, honestly, they should have just went on ahead and left. But in the other hand, they had every right to be there just like everybody else. Like, it was another person that was there who been there for a while who hadn't purchased anything. They weren't loitering. They wasn't trespassing. You didn't say that about them. So why say it about these two black men? Mind you, they were sitting there waiting for their realtor to come over so they can conduct business, okay? And then the realtor comes and was like, what the heck is going on? What did they do? And everybody was saying they did nothing. And I'm just like, it's messed up, because then I seen another video where this black man was not let to go into a bathroom unless he purchased something, and he was recording, and the store manager was saying the same thing, but an Asian guy had came out the bathroom and he hadn't purchased anything yet. He went and got a line. And I'm like, this is fucked up. So this is what we're doing. So what it's showing is that, even though you got a certain policy that's supposed to be followed for all of these Starbucks or whatever, these stores are really making their own rules, okay? And this is not complying to what the actual company stands for. And it's fucked up, because now you're making the whole company as a whole look fucking crazy, and looking as if this is what y'all do. Y'all hire bigots, y'all hire people who are prejudiced and discriminatory against people of color. And it is fucked up. It makes the company look bad as shit. And the CEO wants to come out and fly from Seattle all the way over there to Philly, from West Coast to East Coast, to try to smooth this shit out, to see what's going on. And he jumped on the shit right away. Baby, he ain't trying to get his company fucked up. And you want to know probably why he did all this? Because he probably heard the little rumblings talking about some boycott Starbucks. Even though, they can make a difference, but it probably really wouldn't have made no difference. It would have made a dent. It probably would have barely made a dent in their profits, because Starbucks is fucking everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't want that smoke. So they trying to put the fire out before it got too fucking big. They didn't want them to fan the flames. So they trying to put that shit out, all right? And on the one hand, I applaud him for his immediate calls to action. On the other hand, I feel as though he was just doing that shit so he could save that company, okay? Because he ain't want no boycott. He ain't want no other bad news against it, But that's what you got to do when you like CEO and shit of the company. You got to do what's best for the company. And the girl the manager. At first, they said that they had a mutual, split, and said that she's no longer working there in that location. And if you notice, if you've seen a couple of interviews, the CEO did say in that location, in that location. So what? She moved to another location, and you go back and you look, mind you, they didn't even put her name out there at first. And I'm like, why not put her name out there? And then somebody then found her, put her shit out there. I'm not mentioning that hoe up in this video because from what people been saying is, first of all, she comes from a background of a lot of fast food places. And if a person keep going from this place to this place to this place in a short amount of time, something is wrong with them. Okay, why is it that you keep moving every other year to a different place and you're down in the same position in all these places? But also, people been saying that this is her thing. This is what she done. This is not the first time she's done this to someone. And I was like, well, why do y'all keep on hiring this person? Or do y'all not ask for references? Or if you do ask for references and she's done this at a different place, are they lying for her because they're okay with what she's doing? I just don't know. I don't know. And anybody else, they would have put the name out there. They would have put the name out there. And the only reason why I'm really going, and I'm one thing about it that, like I said, the person that I was going back and forth said that it was staged and stuff like that. They was investigating this thing. Now, who would have been staged by? The boys? What do they gain out of it? Because they haven't even really put their names out. We haven't seen an interview with them. The CEO sat down with them. They had their lawyers, though. Okay, they finna get a payday. But at this point, if it was staged, that shit would have fell through by now. Okay? Starbucks is a powerful fucking company, and they got powerful fucking lawyers, and they would have found the fuck out what was going on right then and there properly. Okay? But couldn't have been staged by Starbucks, because what would they gain? People looking to still boycott them, people looking at them in a negative way right about now. And now you have to close. They saying on May 29th they're going to close all the Starbucks down, 8,000 Starbucks, so that they can do a whole employee training on ethics and stuff like that. And I mean, if that's what they claim they're gonna do, go ahead and do it. And I feel like every company needs to have that. All right, we do it at my job. You read the policies, it's clear as day. You cannot discriminate against anybody regardless of race, color, creed, sex, sexual orientation, and anything of that such. You cannot do it. And so I feel like it's a good thing to have a refresher course. Will it stick? Hopefully, but I'm not gonna hold my breath on it. I think it's a step in the right direction. But again, it's just like you're trying to appease us. But I hope they realize that there really is a real problem. Okay, and it's not just with Starbucks. It's with a lot of these companies out here. All right, the entitlement issues and stuff like that. But once again, if those men were asked to leave, I feel as though, even though they should have been there, just so no bullshit won't pop off, because you know how people so quick to call the cops these days. Just fucking leave. But like I said, they had every right to be there. And then when the cops came and they realized wasn't nothing else going on, them men spent like 9 hours in jail. I feel as though the cops should have made that decision, because they could have made that decision that there really wasn't anything going on and just told the men to leave. They didn't have to arrest them. They didn't have to book them. They didn't have to put them in that cop car and take them down to the fucking jail. They didn't have to do none of that. They could have just said, well, okay, for right now, even though people are saying that we totally get the situation and that you didn't do anything, but this is a private property or whatever, and if they want you to leave, you should just go ahead and leave. If just so we won't have to do nothing else, just go ahead and leave, okay? And called it a fucking day. And then when the realtor came over there, they just took the business somewhere else. That's what they could have did with the cops. That's what they should have did, if you ask me. But y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. Is this a reason for you guys to boycott the whole Starbucks company as a whole, or is it one of those situations where you have a bunch where there's a few bad apples? Okay, and that's what it seemed like to me right about now. I don't fuck with Starbucks like that, no way. I don't drink them. Like I told you, my mama bought me the Danishes when she go. That's it. I ain't never, no. Because I'm not a coffee drinker. So, bitch, let me tell you something. I went into a Starbucks um a long time ago. I was still in high school, right? So me and my friends, we went out, we was just kicking it. We was downtown. We was finna go to Flat Tops over there on where was it? Across the street from the Oprah Studio, where the Oprah Studio used to be at out here. Not the new Flat Tops that's downtown on Adams, but Adams and Wabash, but the old one, the original. So we was out there, and then we went straight in downtown, and it was like, oh my God, there go a Starbucks. Let me stop up in here and get a coffee or whatever. So I'm standing up in there, and I'm listening to them ordering. First of all, I'm looking at the menu like, the fuck is this shit? Let me get a mocha, frappe, grande, something, something. I said, bitch, English. Okay, what are you talking about? I was young then, okay? I just didn't understand the language. I didn't understand what they were talking about. And it was intimidating as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. It intimidated the hell out of me. I felt so dumb, okay? I really did. But, you know, I really can't say boycott something that I don't even fuck with. So, hey, y'all tell me, y'all still are y'all more so mad at, you know, Starbucks the company or just this particular person in Starbucks and the cops, or who do you feel deserves the most blame in this? Do you blame the men? I try to put in all sides. Y'all tell me your issue or your thoughts about it. And, let's have a respectful discussion down in the comments, okay? And I will see you guys later. Peace.